Guys, we're back for another exciting episode of the Hashtag Wednesday Match Play, and I am pumped for today's guest for a couple of reasons. One, I use the product. So, long story short, I used to use the Golf Digest handicap solution. Then I started using a different solution when I got to Tiburon, and then I lost that solution, and I'm like, I don't have a handicap. I literally went back to Golf Digest, and I'm like, it's not official. Then I found TheGrint.com. It's official, it's free, and it's awesome. So tonight we're going to talk about TheGrint.com. But before we jump into that, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, click the subscribe button down below. But do more than that. Take 2 seconds and turn on the notifications, because if you turn on the notifications, every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., boom, you get an email, new episode posted. You don't even have to look for it. It's going to come right to your inbox. If you don't like looking at us, I get it. We're not pretty. You don't have to look at us. Subscribe to iTunes and Google Play in a podcast format, and you can listen to us. Same content, but in a podcast format. Regardless of where you're looking and gathering this content, click the subscribe button. But tonight we're going to talk about handicaps, and more than just handicaps, the community that's been built around this app. And before we went live, we were talking a little bit more about that, and I actually use the desktop version of it more than anything. But the idea of tracking things from a handicap perspective, yeah, I want to track my score. I'm a stat tracker. I track fairways. I track greens. I track putts. I can do all of that within the Grint. They have the Grint tour. There's so much going on. So versus me trying to explain what it is, I use it. All right. That's all I know. We're going to learn more about it. We're going to dig into the details. We have Jose Torbay with us from TheGrint.com. Jose, welcome to the Hashtag Wednesday Match Play.
Hello. How are you? Thanks to you for having me here. I'm excited about being here, about talking about the Grint. And sharing more about what we do. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm pumped to talk to you too. And I'm a fairly new user as well. I've heard about it. I knew about it long time before I started using it. But when I started using it, I was quite frankly, like, no, I don't want to use it. No, I'm comfortable with Golf Digest. And then I got into it and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. Then I start connecting with people. My buddy Matt uses it. My buddy Frank uses it. So my buddy Frank lives in Oregon. He tees off and boom, I get a notification. Frank's just teed off. Now I can follow along and there's a lot of stuff going on. So give us an overview of the app. What are the high-level 10,000-foot view of what this app is, what it does, and how somebody watching at home would benefit from using this app?
Well, when we started the Grint, I think the clear objective that we had was let's try to democratize the game of golf, right? Let's try to make handicaps available for everyone. We found a way to make handicaps free, USGA compliant handicaps free, right? And we started doing that. Quite frankly, we thought that after a year we were going to get closed, and but after months and then years, we're still here. We're still giving free handicaps, and in fact, we've worked with the USGA, making sure that they want to grow the game of golf. We are making this free. It's helping them grow the game of golf. So. Surprise, they're actually helping us, right? So, not financially in any way, but we work together, right? So that's a good thing. So for us, it started being a way to provide people with a free handicap. But because we were doing that, we started adding tools to be able to track your scores. And then with the scores, we started adding statistics about your game so you can see your performance and analyze your game and figure out what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths. And because of that, we started seeing that, hey, we can start, people can befriend each other. And then if someone is, teeing off in Oregon, I get a notification. I can see how he's playing real time. I can see what he's doing on hole number 4. And in fact, just last week, we released a feature that you can actually now comment on his scorecard. So if you're looking at your friend Frank and he's teeing off and he just made a birdie on number 4, you can actually congratulate him or make fun of him because he made he went out of bounds. So I could keep going and going about many things that we do. We have GPS in over 37,000 golf courses around the world, completely free. We help you rank you against your friends, not only in handicap, but also scoring, putting, greens and regulation, fairways, so you have a ranking against your friends. We also help you organize your foursome, so you can send an invite to your friends, and they can tell you, hey, I want to play, I have a tee time on Saturday at 8 a.m. in Tiburon, Gold, right? And I can send it to all my friends, and they can say, hey, I want to play, and then I can accept whoever I want to accept, right? So there's a bunch of other things that we do. But I'm going to stop there because I'm going to confuse everyone. But that's kind of a quick overview of what we do.
And what's cool about it is that you can use it literally for handicap purposes only. And that's what's fun from a stat junkie like myself is I wanted a handicap and I want it. I don't even play competitive and I just wanted it so I can know. And the more I play and the older I get, the less I care about my handicap. But at the same time, when I show up to the first team, my buddy's like, "Hey, what's your handicap?" I want to know. I want to be able to provide, I shoot this or I shoot that. I want to be able to define an exact handicap, and TheGrint.com absolutely helps me do that. And so the app itself and the app, the interface is incredibly user friendly. I mean, you literally tell me like up, down, left, right for fairways miss, greens miss, whatever. And I'm very impressed with the overall experience. And you were saying before we went live, you're always learning and listening to feedback and getting better. So what's kind of been some of the growing pains you've had in developing this app? And before you explain the growing pains, when did you start the development of it, and when did TheGrint.com be released? And then what have been the growing pains from that point until today?
Right. So we started working. The first line of code was 2011. We launched a website in late 2012, and then the first version of the app went live in 2013. So that's how long we've been working on it. I think the growing pains, quite frankly, has been, like you said, we launched it knowing that it was not a perfect product. And instead of we trying to figure out what was the perfect product, we let our audience tell us, right? What is it that they want? So the reason why you probably find this so easy to use is not because we thought about it. It's literally because people told us what they wanted to be like, right? And I think that was a big thing for us. In terms of growing pains, I think for us, more than the development, it's just been, we've always done this. I mean, clearly we want to make money, right? And we want to grow the business, but it's been mostly because we wanted to make this tool available for everyone. And because we have that mentality, and because every dollar that we produce in sales, we put it back into developing new features. The whole management of the company, making sure that financially we can continue to support this business and continue to support creating this product and having the best product available to the public. I think that's what's been the most challenging part. But we've truly enjoyed it. It's been, I'm a golfer. I love golf. I'm very passionate about it. So being able to kind of hear what someone wants from a golf standpoint, I want to be able to track this and this because that's going to help me with that and that, right? And then see it happen. It's just, it's a joy. And then being able to use it yourself, right? So for us, it's been a wild, fun ride to be on.
That's awesome, man. What's cool, like you talk about like how you look at that, how long it took. That is crazy that you started not that long ago and have come as far as you are today. And just the impressive thing is I had heard about it and I knew about it, but complete transparency, I only started using it because somebody said, "Hey, that's a free official USGA handicap," and I'm like, boom, I'm in. I'm frugal. I don't like spending money unless it's on beer.
Like most of us, right? It's normal. And I think one of the key things that we've always thought about is that if you only want to do the handicap thing, we're not going to bombard you. You're not going to see all these other features. In fact, people complain that some of these features are kind of hidden. They're hidden on purpose because we don't want to get on your face. Like you learn about it little by little and you'll find them. We'll make sure you find them, but they're not going to bother you if you don't want to use it. And I think that's hearing you and what you're explaining, it's actually a good thing to hear. And I'm happy to hear what you're saying.
I would honestly say I get 3 to 7 emails a day from Kohl's, the store, because I bought something there one time. And I don't even look at them. I delete them. And I don't even know why I don't unsubscribe. You guys send on the first handicap update, on the 15th handicap update, 2, maybe 3 a month outside of that. But every one I get from TheGrint, I read. Oh, I haven't heard from them in a while. What's going on? What's new? What's fresh? What's happening? And that's the difference in between a company that understands what their customers want and a company that's just trying to drive revenue. So I appreciate the quality that goes into your email marketing. Now, I mentioned Golf Digest. You've got Golf Association of Florida. You've got GIN. You've got all these other solutions. What differentiates the Grint from all these other options?
Well, I mean, clearly the first one is for free, right?
Kind of a big deal.
And look, if you join and you get a free handicap from the get-go, you have an option to upgrade. If you upgrade, we use all those funds to develop new features, and they give you some additional features that I'll talk about later. What differentiates us among them? You know, the first one, yes, we're free. We give you a free USGA handicap. But secondly, and maybe most importantly, is you're not getting a basic product. If you're buying one of these other companies' handicap, you're just getting your number. That's it. They're just calculating your number. You have to input the score yourself and make sure that things are. But that's it. I mean, you're getting your handicap. That's all you get. With us, you get statistics. You get a best-in-class app in the world. You get GPS on all the courses in the world. You get live leaderboards. When you're playing against your friends, you can see what they're shooting when you're in a large group. You know, you get so many good stuff. And I think that's what really differentiates us. We're a one-stop shop for golfers. So I think that's how I would summarize it.
So this is a multi-part question. I track fairways, greens, putts. What other stats can I track? How many active users do you have? And how many rounds per year are you tracking?
So we ask you for 4 data points. In fact, you can turn them off and only give me your score per hole, right? Well, we ask you 4. We ask you the score, we ask you the putts, and we ask you the fairway accuracy, whether you missed left, right, or you hit the fairway. And then we ask you for any penalties that you may have incurred. So you went out of bounds, or you went in the water hazard, you made a drop shot, etc. Right? With those 4 points, we can calculate pretty much everything. So I'll give you an example. Greens in regulation. If you give me that you made a 5 and you had a 3-putt, I know that you hit your green in regulation in a par 4, right? You're in a par 4, you made a 5 and you hit 3 putts. That means that you were in regulation, because 5 minus 3, that gives you 2. It means that you were in the green in 2, right? So with those 2 numbers, we can calculate already. Now we can calculate your greens in regulation. Then I'll give you other examples of things that we do with those 4 points. I can tell you that the average score on par 4s with a yardage of 430 yards and more, or your average on par 4s with 350 yards or less, right? We triangulate your data from your scores with the scorecard data. So if you played from the white tees, I know that hole number 5, you played around 320, right? Tee boxes move up and down, but I know that that's how you play. So I can now tell you how you played a par 4 of 320 yards, right? And things like that. For example, I'll give you one last example that I think is very useful. We give you your greens in regulation when you're shooting from the fairway or when you're shooting from the rough. So if you tell me that you in a hole number 4 you missed right, and then you made a 2-putt and you made a par, that means that you hit your green in regulation, but you were not in the fairway. But if you hit your fairway, so I can calculate your greens in regulation from the fairway and when you're not in the fairway. And that's actually a very interesting data point, because that means how you can score if you improve your driving accuracy, right? So, and I'll stop there, but there's many of those. We give you over 40 graphs with trends and things. And again, we're only asking you for 4 things: your score, your putts, your driving accuracy, and your penalties, right? And in fact, when we developed this with the help of users, and we actually were timing, we would time people how long it would take them to write down or how long it would take them to write in the scorecard. It's actually because they can actually drive the cart and use the phone while they're driving the cart. It takes quite a lot less than writing in the scorecard and inputting your scores. So in fact, it helps with pace of play. I mean, I'm talking about adding all these stats, and you're part of Troon, right? So you know how important pace of play is. It actually helps you. right? And it's actually quite fast. So I'll stop there, but just to give you an idea of statistics and what we can do when we get smart about it.
How many users are using the app?
So I cannot tell you that. We don't share those numbers, but I will tell you it's a lot.
More than one. Just say that. More than one.
Quite a lot.
Not one. So me, Frank, Matt, you're doing all right.
All right.
That's cool. Now, what role has social media played in the growth of the brand, and what's kind of your favorite platform to use? I know you guys are active on a couple of them.
So honestly, I think, we were never, I'm not very good at social media, and we were never super active on it. I don't think social media played a big role in us growing. Having said that, nowadays we have an Instagram account, TheGrint Golf, at TheGrint Golf, Facebook account, also TheGrint Golf, and Twitter account at TheGrint Golf.
I'll include those links below too, so folks can connect with you guys on social media.
But having said that, I think the reason why we were able to grow so much was literally just people telling other people that this, same thing that happened to you. A friend told you, hey, this is awesome, this is free, you should give it a shot. We've tried some advertising, and we've done some advertising mainly on social media. So we've done, the Facebook ads and the Instagram ads, but I would have to attribute most of the growth to really just people telling other people. So
that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
Now, I look at it from an ops perspective, right? So I'm in the field, I'm working on an operation daily. What kind of opportunities do operators have for the app? I mean, from tracking tournament scores, I know we utilize Golf Genius, which is an app that allows us to do scoring and scoreboards and you name it. So what about responding to reviews? You had mentioned before we went live that I can't, as a facility, respond to reviews, advertising opportunities, etc. So from a golf course operator owner perspective, how does the TheGrint affect me? What can I do with it from an operator perspective?
So there's a couple of things. So we've worked with a couple of golf course operators to help them understand data about their area, right? So I can actually see how many people play not only in Tiburon, but also in the courses that you consider your competition, right? And I can give you a report of the traffic and the market share. So clearly, not everyone uses the TheGrint in the world, right? So, but I can give you a sample, right? And I can tell you, your closest competitor has a 20% market share, and you have a 25% market share, whatever that is. And on top of that, we help you advertise. We can help you advertise to those folks specifically, right? So, if you go to a mass channel and you try to go to, I don't know, the golf channel and advertise there, you're probably going to go too far, too broad, right? But if I tell you, hey, you're going to advertise to the people that already play in your course, and you can do that message in one way, and then you're going to advertise differently to the people that do not play, that play your competitor but does not play in your course, right? And you're going to give them a completely different message. For them, you can probably give them, a discount to try your course, right? So we've worked with golf courses in getting smart about engaging with folks, looking at reviews, looking at what your course is rated compared to other courses in your area, right? So I think for us, it's always been a very custom solution with golf course operators rather than just getting something off the shelf. Because we think that with data, we'll never share like personal information about anyone, right? But what we can do is get very smart about traffic and markets and data as a whole instead of just individuals, right? So I can tell you the people that play in your course, how many rounds they play per month, what kind of golf courses they play, how expensive those golf courses are, what kind of equipment they have, when did they buy that equipment, how often they replace that equipment, right? Again, I'm not pointing to anyone specific. I'm never going to be identifying anyone. But if I can tell you the kind of demographic that you're addressing, it will be important information for you. So that's how we've worked in the past with golf courses.
Oh, it's awesome. It's so much data, and obviously data is powerful. So that's way more than thus far, way more than I expected this app to even be able to do. And because again, I'm looking at it from I need a handicap, boom, the Grint, and I need to go in and dig in to some of these features because it sounds like this app does so much more than just provide a handicap. So I feel like the handicap is just the tip of the iceberg, and that's awesome. Now, reviews is a part of that as well. You were talking about some of Tiburon's reviews. Course reviews are a big deal from a marketing perspective. I look at Yelp, I look at TripAdvisor, I look at Google. I'm always obsessed with reviews because I want to be able to see what people are saying about us, but then I like to respond. Now, you said that I can't currently, as the operator, respond to reviews, but talk a little bit more about the reviews. And do you ever publish a list of, say, the top 100 courses reviewed, or kind of what's your strategy with course reviews?
Yeah, so I think, first, we only get reviews from people that played a course. They uploaded an 18-hole score, and then we ask them for a review. So all the reviews that you'll see in our platform are actually reviews from people that played in the course, right? And they're right after they played. So it's in the moment of truth. They just experienced the course. So that's one important thing. The second thing, we have done yearly rankings of golf courses. In fact, we publish for 2 years. I think last year and the year before, we published with My Golf Spy lists not only in the world and the US, but also in some states. We haven't done that this year because we've been working on a project of our own. That by the moment that this video comes out, I think it'll be available. So I'll just be free to talk about it. It's coming this week. So we're developing a tool that will allow you to have your own personal list and rank your courses, the courses that you've played, right? So you have that list, you'll be able to rank your courses. And that, on top with the reviews that we're gathering from people, will help us understand how do golf courses compare. Because why is this important? If you're playing in Pebble Beach, right, and you're playing Monterey Peninsula and Pebble Beach and Spyglass, and then maybe you're not giving a top review to Monterey just because you just play freaking Pebble Beach, right? And Pebble Beach is one of the top courses in the world. Clearly it's going to beat many. But if you were playing Monterey in, I don't know, the Miami area, and that was it's probably going to beat many of the other courses, right? So I think for us it's really important to understand kind of all these reviews. What are they coming from, right? And when you stack them together, how do you really stack courses? So, for example, we have something that we call the zone percentile in the reviews, which is it'll tell you, Tiburon is 95% zone percentile. What does that mean? That based on the rankings that golf course has, it is the top 95 percentile in that area within 50 miles of that course. That is a lot more relevant than saying that's a 4.5 golf course in Naples versus a 4.5 golf course in Idaho. I've never played in Idaho. Maybe there's great courses over there, but I'm just trying to make a point here. So right now we're embarking in this project of making this a lot more personal for people, allowing them to rank the courses, allowing them to create a list of the bucket list courses that they want to play at. And then if one of my friends played at that course, it's going to give me a notification and say, hey, Ricky just played Tiburon, and that's in your bucket list. Ask him how it went, right? So just a bunch of things that we think are going to be, again, very engaging and very fun to do. I've been playing with my list of my ranking for days now, and I keep kind of changing the ranking.
So that's awesome for a couple of reasons. One, because you literally just answered the next question, which is what are you guys working on in terms of the app and things that you want to announce soon. So ignore the next question. But you talk about bucket lists, right? So I never had a bucket list until I played the old course in St. Andrews. One, I never thought I would ever even be there, let alone play there, right? So I get the opportunity to play the golf course, and I never had like the quintessential bucket list. And I'm literally on the golf course, and I'm thinking, I'm playing a golf course that if I had a bucket list would be at the top of it.
Yep.
And I got home and I'm like, okay, I need a bucket list. So what do? I go to my website and I write a bucket list. And I'm adding to it literally this week. I added ride a camel through the desert in Morocco. Why? Because I saw something on TV of people riding camels through the desert in Morocco, and that looked awesome. Guess where I'm going on vacation next year? Morocco. Maybe I'll mark that off my bucket list. I marked 2 things off my bucket list when I was in Europe last month. It's fun, right? Like to write these things down. I want to do this. I want to do that. And you know, to anybody out there watching this, if you have anything that you think that you want to do it. There's nothing stopping you. Like I wanted to see where they built the Titanic. Like how random and how exact is that? So what did I do? We were in Europe. We go to London. We go to Ireland. We go to Northern Ireland. Let's go to Belfast for a day. Why? Because I want to see a freaking museum. We did. I'm standing there. I did the whole Titanic thing, like standing on the, you know, it was cheesy, right? But I did it. And I can mark that off my bucket list. So that all started with playing the home of golf in St. Andrews. So I'm glad that you're able to allow golfers that are using the app to be able to make their own bucket list and to be able to engage with others that have played those golf courses, whether it be Tiburon, whether it be John Doe Golf Club down the street, or whether it be Pebble Beach, St. Andrews, Augusta National.
Which I think is important. I mean, you go to a magazine and you're going to see the Cypress Points and the Pine Valleys and Augusta National. And yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, clearly they're bucket list, but are you going to play them? They're tough. I mean, it's tough to get in those courses, but you know, if you start creating your own bucket list, maybe you'll add, you know, Wolf Creek in Nevada, Mesquite, or you'll add some courses that are public, that are amazing, fun golf courses to play at, and that's what it's all about, right? To create your own experience, your own bucket list. And like you said, I mean, you saw something on TV and you said, that's a golf course in freaking Morocco that I want to play with camels. You know, it doesn't get any more personal than that.
I mean, think about how random that is. And that's literally on my bucket list. Like as simple as I want to visit a brewery or I want to ride a camel through the desert. Like those are 2 totally odd. Like I could go to that brewery tomorrow if I wanted to. And the way I look at it though, I could go ride that camel tomorrow if I wanted to. And I will. I will have a photo of me on a camel in the desert within the next 365 days. You heard it here first.
Upload it I want to see it in one of your videos.
I love it. Let's do it. I'll do it. I actually, to that very point, I've been trying to do more video content because video content is obviously a big part of social media. Yeah. And just last week I posted, I want to do more video content. Ask me a question and I'll respond in a video. And I did, and 4, 5, 7 people responded. I'm going to do more of that, like just on random evenings. Hey, I'm having a cocktail. Let's answer some questions via video. And it's fun for me, and it's creating unique content that nobody else is doing. There's a gentleman, and actually I'll give him a shout out. Brian, he runs a comedy club here in Naples. He does what's called, he picks up these comedians from the airport and he puts them in the car and he calls it the captain's log. So he's Captain Brian Spina, right? And he puts the camera and he's driving them from the airport to their hotel, and it's become viral. Now he's doing it with local business owners, and he's just like, yesterday I watched one and he's got this guy that runs this like massage parlor, and I'm like, what? But I love it because I'm interested. I'm engaged. He's driving down the street talking to this guy, interviewing this guy, similar to how you and I are here talking. He's driving down the road doing it. So it's his own thing, and I dig it, and it's video. And to that point, because of Brian and because of you, I'm going to record myself riding a camel in the desert in Morocco. Now, the leaderboard is a cool feature of the app. You've talked about it a little bit tonight. So tell us a little bit more about how that works.
So let's say that you're going out with a group of 8 people, right? Or 16 people to make it more. And, you know, the typical experience is you go out and you see them at the beginning of the outing, and then you see them at the end of the outing, but you only exchange information with the people in your foursome, right? Which, you know, kind of sucks. So what we've done is that we create this, what we call the live leaderboards, and it creates a competition against everyone, you know, and you start tracking your scores as you're playing. Those scores are going to the cloud. And then in your app, you can see literally a leaderboard where you can see how everybody's scoring real time. So on hole number 16, you know how you are doing against everyone in the group, right? So you know that you have to be more aggressive, or you have to protect your score, and you're literally feeling more like someone in the PGA Tour would feel like, right? And I think that's part of what we've always kind of strive for, is how do you make information that the PGA Tour guys have available to some of the folks. I mean, they have statistics that are incredible that help them improve their game. How do you bring that to the regular amateur? The same way, when they're competing, they have information about how all the other players are doing real time. How can you bring that to the folks, to the amateurs? And that's what we did with the leaderboards. That's why. And by the way, that's one of the first features that we launched. That was 2014. We were probably the first app to have something like that.
That's really cool.
So it's been a great success, and now you can chat. So when
better.
So you can chat with others, and you can actually engage with other people that are not in your group. So that's pretty cool.
That's all. You built a social network inside of an app that scores golf. Like that's really cool. Yeah. Now, I didn't tell you before we went live, this was going to fly by, and it did, but we're only halfway done. That was the front nine.
All right.
Talk done. Let's have some fun. You ready for your back nine?
Let's do it.
I assume you use TheGrint.com to track your handicap. You said you're a golfer. What is your index?
My index is right now 7.9, I think.
Oh, you're a player too. Look at this guy. That's what. Okay, not one of the questions. What's your home course? Where do you play?
I play a course called the Riviera Country Club. It's my club. Nice. Yeah.
There is a Trim course in Miami. It's still closed due to the hurricane. Diplomat. So it's unfortunate. Yeah. But
yeah. I used to play it a lot. It's doing renovations right now, I think.
It is. And thank you, Hurricane Irma. A year ago, thank you for destroying that golf course. That's fine.
Beautiful property.
What is your favorite feature of the app? I mean, there's like 45 to choose from, but what's your favorite?
To me, it's the stats. To me, it just gives me so much. I spend a lot of time looking at my game and understanding what is it that I can do to improve. So for me, it's the stats. But the stats wouldn't be enough without being social. So I'll tell you an example, and I know this is kind of quick, but I'll tell you an example why the stats being social is important. So understanding that I have 33%, my greens in regulation percentage is 33%. The first time I saw that number, I thought that it was terrible, right? And what I've been able to understand with the Grint is that I can see the stats of my friends, right? And I'm a 7.9 handicap. So now I go and I look at someone who is a 6 handicap, right? Because that's the next level for me. So how do I get to 6 handicap? And I look at the percentage in regulation. And you know what? This guy is doing 35, 36%. He's not that much higher than I am in that. And that's not the area that I need to focus so much. The area that I needed to focus a lot more was in putting, because I was not putting that well, right? So I think in the statistics, but also that those statistics being social, so that you can have a bar that you can compare yourself against, right? I think that's what's been really eye-opening for me in terms of the stats and why I enjoy it so much.
I hit 38% of my greens, which is so low to me, but
right? Doesn't it look very low?
Yeah, I feel like I suck at golf when I see that.
Yes.
It's like, oh wow, you hit no greens.
But it's not that bad. It is not that bad.
I don't know if it would ever be possible, but it'd be really cool to be able to compare yourself to the tour players, to be able to have like the top 5 tour players, to be able to say, you know, Ricky, you compare to Tiger Woods and Jordan Spieth and Phil Mickelson, and like that'd be neat. That'd be a neat feature to add.
There was a moment, it was fun. There was a moment maybe 3 years ago. We started to create accounts of these golfers, and we were literally uploading their scores.
That's cool. It's cheating, but it's cool.
Yeah, so we were uploading their scores so that you can befriend someone, and then you could kind of follow them real time and also see their stats. We stopped doing it because it was just a lot of work and it's not our core. But it was very cool. It was, you could see how Ricky was doing and compare your stats with his, and you would befriend that person and that user. And
yeah,
but we just stopped doing that. It was just a lot of work.
I bet. What is the best golf course you have ever played?
Wow. So I'm cheating. I just went in a golf trip to Wisconsin, and in my way down, I played Erin Hills.
So good.
What a golf course! It's in the top of my personal ranking, and I've been lucky enough to play very good golf courses. I would say Erin Hills, and then a tie for second, Bethpage Black, and the Straits course, the Whiston Straits course.
And for all of you watching at home, he's not played Tiburon recently, so we're gonna have to put that at the top of his list when he comes over and plays here.
We're gonna play together, Tiburon.
I love it. Spend the weekend here. We'll play the Gold Course and the Black Course. You can see them both. I'll let you decide what you like best. It'll be a good day.
I am sure that I'm gonna love them.
Now, I'm a beer guy, even though I'm drinking a gin and tonic right now. I'm a beer guy. Now, there are a lot of really good, very high-profile brewing companies in Miami. What's your favorite? Do you have a fave?
You know what? I keep trying many. I mean, there's a bunch. I've never gotten married to any beer just because I think nowadays the variety is so much that I keep trying new ones. I'm a Stella guy when when I'm not doing kind of the hips the
I
new.
don't know how to respond to that.
I know. It kind of sucks. But when I'm gonna do kind of the more the brewery kind of beers, I just try new things. I don't like to repeat.
So I love that you said that, and I'm not responding to this to be braggadocious by any means, but I use an app on my phone called Untapped. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No, I never tried it.
It's awesome. It allows you to track your beers, and I have tracked every beer that I have consumed since May 7th of 2011. All right, now think every single beer I have tried, every beer, whether I've had it 15 times or I'm having it for the first time, since May 7th of 2011, as of today, how many unique beers do you think I've had?
Jesus. I'm gonna be generous and say 110.
I don't know if you can see this, but that says 11,000.
Oh my God.
160 unique.
You are the beer master, man. I give you that. That is awesome.
11,160
unique beers.
Different beers. Now that's Bud Light, Coors Light, Corona. Like those are ridiculous. But I will literally go to a brewery and I will look and see if I've had it. And if I've had it, I won't get it again. I've had total 15,004 beers. I've had Coors Light more than anything. So that's my golf course.
Question back to you. I'm going to give you a question.
Yeah.
What is the top beer that you've ever had?
Not possible. I can give you my top 5. There's no way to pick a favorite because one, I've not had every beer ever made, so it's impossible to pick my favorite. In my top 5, Dogfish Head 120.
All right.
AleSmith Speedway Stout, which is a $12 bottle. It's one of the best values of any beer you will ever buy. I think Sam Adams Utopias, which is a 34 to 38% ABV beer. It's brewed every 2 years. Might be top 3 in the world.
Wow.
I've had a quadruple IPA from Needy Brewing Company, and I could not tell you the name of it, and I can look it up, but it'd take me 20 minutes. And it is one of the best, most flavorful IPAs I've ever had. And Vanilla Bean, well, I don't even know. They changed the name of it. Three Floyds brews it, and it's what do they call it now? It's Dark Lord, but it's Vanilla Bean Dark Lord. But they've changed the name of it. I honestly can't tell you the new name of it, but it's one of the beers. They release 2,000 bottles a year. To get it, you have to be at the festival to get it. It's like $350 to even get a ticket to the festival. Like,
oh my God,
so hard to get. I got 3 ounces of it at a tasting one time, and that's got to be in my top 3.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it's not possible to pick a favorite. So to answer the question, when someone asks, "What's your favorite beer?" the next beer that I'm going to drink is my favorite beer because it could be the best beer that I've never had.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Good answer.
What is your favorite golf movie?
It's got to be Tin Cup.
So good, right? Thank you for saying that. So few people say that. That is such a good movie.
It's not even close. Not even close. I mean, you have Happy Gilmore, clearly a great movie. But Tin Cup is just, the moment that he just raises his hand and the ball goes in and the crowd goes crazy. Yes, it's just memorable. I've probably seen it 20 times.
And if you haven't seen it, turn on Golf Channel because it's probably on. They play it like 4 times a week.
So absolutely, and every time my wife looks at me and it's like, "Are you watching this again, really?" And if she wasn't a Rene Russo fan, she probably wouldn't be with me. But
that's awesome. And the fact that he did not know how to play golf before he was cast for that movie is even more impressive. That's what's even more impressive.
Yes.
Now
I can swing.
I'm an iPhone guy. Are you iPhone or Android?
So I'm an iPhone guy. I've been an iPhone guy for the last 8 years, but I've been thinking about others.
No. Don't do it. You're not allowed.
And today
they released so good. The Max, are you kidding me? It's like the size of my iPad. It's awesome.
Today they released all the new iPhones, and I was looking at all these things. It's like, oh my God, if Steve Jobs was here, he would be pissed. It's just so confusing. So I don't know. I'm still. I mean, I have to. All my devices are Apple, so it's very difficult for me to do the move. But I've been seeing other people.
If you do the move, you'll regret it. You'll be back.
All right.
Back to the dark side.
All right.
Who is in your dream foursome? They have to be alive. Sometimes people give, people that have passed away. No, right now, if you could play tomorrow with anybody, who's in your foursome?
So, if it was my last foursome, for sure, my dad would be in it. He's been my partner in golf since I remember. Tiger Woods, for sure. Just big fan. I mean, any Tiger haters, I'm sorry. I love the guy. I don't remember having more fun watching golf like I used to when he was on. And even now, I get goosebumps. Yeah, I mean, who would be my third one? I don't know. You know what? I mean, other than that, I'm not. I don't get fixated with. So I would stop there.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. No worries. Tiger twice. He hits 2 balls. He gets them all again.
He can hit my ball.
That's awesome. Now, I did not tell you this. I don't know if you can notice he's behind me, and I've got bobbleheads.
Absolutely.
I'm Tiger's biggest fan, and he knows this because I tweet him this every now and then. I drive a red and black car because he wears red on Sunday, and I'm not kidding. I bought the car because he wears red on Sundays.
Is it a Buick?
It is not a Buick.
Okay.
It's a smart car, actually. So it was before the Buick days. But I have so much Tiger Woods memorabilia that we literally have a 3rd bedroom of our home for the Tiger Woods stuff, and I'm not kidding. It's that bedroom over there. That closet behind me is literally full to the ceiling of Tiger Woods stuff. Like it's disgusting. So if he doesn't break the record, I've got a lot of stuff that's worth nothing. But that's a good segue to this next question. Do you think he breaks Jack's record? Why or why not?
With a tear in my eye, I don't.
I liked you until you said that. We were friends there.
Look,
why?
I think he can. I think he's going to win more majors. And I definitely thought that I bet with my friends that he was going to win this year. So I still have one chance with the Tour Championship.
How good would that be if he wins that and wins the FedEx Cup by winning that?
Yes. Can you imagine that?
Oh my God, that would be bananas.
That would be crazy. So I'm a huge fan. It's just, if you look at Jack Nicklaus's records, I still think that maybe Tiger was more dominant. But getting to 18 at this time, this era with all these golfers, with Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, they're playing very good golf. I mean, if he played this last week, Tiger just played this last weekend. He played, what was it, a 62, then even par, then a couple of good rounds after that. That's not enough. That's not enough these days. And I think that while he's gonna win another major, I think it's gonna be difficult to win 4 more.
If he wins 4 more, don't win another one, because tying the record is not. You either break it, don't tie it,
right?
Either break it or don't win another major.
Yeah.
All right. I don't love your answer.
I wish he ties it at least.
Well, if you tie it and you don't break it, then how can? No, I can't sleep at night the way it is, let alone if he ties the record.
Well, I'm going to be rooting for it. The fact that I don't think he can be done, it doesn't mean that I'm not rooting. I mean, he's still, what is he, 42?
Yeah.
And Phil is 45. And Phil's still playing very good golf, right? So if he's
Phil's not even in shape.
Exactly. So if his back allows and he's free of injuries, you know, he could. I mean, no one has his heart, right? So he doesn't need the game; he just needs the heart.
And the second that we doubt him is the second that he says, "Shut up! I'm going to go do it anyway." And your final question of your hashtag Wednesday match play. First off, what an awesome conversation. This has been so great. I'm so glad that you're in Miami, so you're not too far. I go to Miami a lot for craft beer, so let's figure out how to get you to come to Naples for golf. We'll go have beer, have golf. It'll be a great time. But your final question of your hashtag Wednesday match play is, what's next for TheGrint?
So there's a couple of very interesting projects that we're working on. I can say that we're working on a sister app that we're going to release probably at the end of the year. It's a very cool concept that does not exist in golf, and that I think is going to change how people do this in golf currently. I can't tell you much more about it. What I can tell is that I'm very excited. The reason why we're doing it separate from TheGrint is because, you know, we believe TheGrint has plenty of stuff, and it cannot just have more. It has to concentrate on what they do, what TheGrint does best, which is keep track of your game. This new app is going to be focused on golf, but it's going to be a different focus. And I cannot tell you how excited we are about it. We think it's going to change how things work. So the same way that we've kind of changed the landscape for handicaps, I think we can do something very special with this. So very looking forward to that happening. And the end of the year, I'll keep you posted, of course.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you so much again for coming on the show. This has been so cool. One, knowing what the app was, using the app, and now having you on the show to talk about the app, like, it just kind of completes the circle. You've got a big fan of the app and me. I'm going to make sure that I promote this app as much as I can, push this episode out to as many people as I can. If you're watching at home, as I said at the beginning of the show, make sure you click the subscribe button down below. Turn on those notifications. That's the easiest way to guarantee you get this content right to you every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. I don't know about you, but I think that we had a pretty good conversation here. But if you don't want to look at us, that's fine. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play. I'll allow that as well. But the point of this show is to showcase the content of others in the golf space. And TheGrint is a very, very cool story about an app that started from wanting to provide stats and handicaps for the layman. And I'm a layman, and I love the app. I will tell anybody and everybody to use this app from a golfer perspective. Yes, it's a free handicap. That's a big, big hook. But the app does so much more than that. And it's been awesome having Jose on the show tonight to talk about it. So,
and Ricky, I'll tell you this, for your audience and for you as well. We've made a bunch of these very cool hats with the TheGrint logo on it. I'll send you 5 so that you can just give it away to your audience. We'll love to have people with their brand.
That is awesome. Oh my God, that's so cool. I'm keeping one. Sorry. Everybody watching at home.
Absolutely, please do.
I'm keeping one. I'm wearing that all over Naples. I'm a hat guy. Like, I always got to have a hat on when I'm playing golf. I mean,
this is a
haircut right now. Oh my God, look at that. That's so good.
We have some of the flat ones and the trucker hat, and then it's just very cool.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you doing that. That's really cool, giving back to the people at home. Again, click the subscribe button down below. Jose, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll make sure this gets shared to Facebook and Twitter and Google+, the golf community and Google+. Now, you and I didn't talk about this, but the Google+ golf community has got just shy of 27,000 members. extremely active place. If you're not there, which I don't think you are, get there if you're not active there. I'd love to see the Grint active in that space. I'm obsessed with the content there. Great place to be able to showcase what you're doing, introduce new things that are coming out, or just talk about handicaps. Frank and Matt, the guys that I was talking about earlier, are both members of that. Matt was one of the first members of that community. He's a good friend of mine, and I'll make sure to give him a shout out that he was in this, and he'll be watching at home. But Jose, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been great learning more about the Grint, an app that I use, and I'm so near and dear to my heart. But as always, on the #Wednesday Match Plays, you have to remember to eat, sleep, golf.